It's the Soul Fantasy Show, Soul Fan Show. Hey, it's the Soul Fantasy Show live for June 9th, 2021. Going over the top picks, plays, and studs for Draftkings and Fanduel. If you already haven't, please subscribe to the channel. We're going over a one-game slate. Denver versus Phoenix. Right on top, it's the Soul Stud of the day. He's priced up to perfection. He's almost $12,000. He's the MVP. It was announced today. Nikola Jokic. He is the sole stud of the day, putting up 3 games ago a 77. So here's some of his things. He's a little expensive. Here's some of his stats. 13% turnover ratio. You have to worry about turnovers. All right. So he's a 91 DD, 1.66 fantasy points per minute. He's projected 60 fantasy points, 5 times value. He is definitely a very good play. So let's see. Do we want to put him in the captain? So he's 17, 11, 8. So he's 11, 8. Booker, the second most expensive, is $2,000 cheaper. Then we have Chris Paul, Ayton. All right, Chris Paul recorded 21 points, 11 assists, and 6 rebounds last game. So we'll draft him in there. Let's try that out. So Chris Paul's down here, 49, 28. Okay, he had 49 last time. I'm hoping he does something similar to that. Devin Booker is a very, very fine option. He also had a 70 contest 2 games ago, 71. He's at a 72 DD. Opponent rank 3. 1.15 fantasy points per minute. Projected to about 40. Then we have Bridges right under him. These guys always have good games, the guys that are watched the most. He had 34 minutes. Booker had 38 minutes. So the top stars are getting big-time minutes. All right, so they have Frank. He managed to not put up any fantasy points last game. But he had a 37 way down there against the Spurs. That was the regular season. The Lakers, he started to play at the end of the Lakers series. So it went 6 games. So for $1,000, it looks like that's somebody we're going to be thinking about. Definitely not in the captain spot, but for $1,000, he's down there. Averaging 15. You have Sarge, Craig, Millsap. So put him in there. All right, so far we have Jokic and Paul and Frank, one of the top watched players of the game. We're going to go over lineups to see how they do it. All right, Michael Porter Jr. is dealing with a back injury. It's uncertain he isn't going to play. So, for the Nuggets, if he does not play, he did have a 50 a couple games ago. June 1st, he had 50 fantasy points. He's somebody to keep an eye on, monitor him. 30 minutes, a lot of minutes. He's 7,800. Torrey Craig had 17 minutes and had 24 fantasy points. For 2,200, he's the sole sleeper of the day, Torrey Craig. So then we have Sarge, who had 10s. Gordon at 32, 36. He's 6,600, 30 minutes. Doing good? Yes. Then, okay. So, down here. Jamal Murray has been out. Nader is out. So you have Jay Crowder. He's 5,400. Jay Crowder. He had 30 minutes. 23 isn't good enough. That's not going to do it for us. Paul Millsap, 14, 9, and 11. He's 2,600. He's only getting 12 minutes. He's not getting a lot of minutes. Cameron Johnson, 13 minutes. All right, so you see the prices and you see their minutes. Down here, 40 DD. This is Aiton, who is one of the top price players. He's 8,400. He had 36 minutes and 36 fantasy points. He had a fantasy point per minute. So for 8,400, you kind of want, I'd say 40 fantasy points. So he's right in 35. So we can throw him in there. Not in the captain. So I don't know who we're going to have in the captain spot. So Jokic. Yeah. If you have Aiton, it's expensive and you're not playing Booker. Aiton, captain. Okay, here's a lineup. We saw Crowder. So if you want to do this, this is fine. Here's a lineup. All right, let's go back and construct more lineups. All right. So let's see who the FanDuel top players are. Jokic, Booker, then you have Monte Morris. He had 23 minutes. He's 11,000. Monte Morris. So if we put Morris in, he's 6,200 and he's 11K. So 23 minutes. He only had 18 fantasy points, but before that he had a 48 and a 42. All right, Jokic is 15,000. Booker's only $500 cheaper. So in this case, you're definitely going for FanDuel case. You're all over Jokic because he's getting the minutes. All right, Jamal Murray. I don't know why he's up there. We have Paul and Gordon. Green, 25. So let's try Green. Try something different here. All right. And let's try Jokic. Jokic and the captain. And we want Booker. So let's go down here and put Craig, the sole sleeper of the day. Now, you have 9,300. You can put anybody in. There. Franco Capalzo. Let's see, where is he on here? There he is. He's 9,500. He had 36 minutes, 31, 22, and 6. All right. So that's his price. Let's go over some lineup optimizers for Draftkings and FanDuel. And then we'll try to see what kind of lineup we might. All right, so they got Jokic in the MVP. I like him in the MVP spot. Green, Bridges, Paul, Crowder. They have Johnson, but you can go Morris. Obviously, we saw that. Crowder, Booker, Bridges. A couple of them for you. So let's put Johnson in. Put Capuzzo in this one. All right. You don't need Green then. You can go Gordon, I would guess. All right. So here we are going to try to put Johnson in there. So he's 3,000. Now we can try Booker in the captain because then you can go Jokic, Paul, Jokic, Paul. Now we have 58 on average. You could put Morris, Green. Not much interest in him. You get in a lot of minutes, so he could definitely be an option. And if you want to try Capuzzo out here with this kind of a lineup, that's fine. All right. Let's see some more lineups. Every lineup that they're giving us has Jokic as the captain. He is the MVP. Because he's the MVP of the league. Gordon, Booker, Crowder, Green, Craig. So with Booker, You can go like this. Frank. Yeah, put Chris Paul right in there. So let's try that. Booker. Boom. And we got Morris, Frank, Paul, Frank, Gordon. There's the lineup. Spending all the money. Let's see what FanDuel has. Booker, Bridges, Morris, Payne, and Jokic. The Joker is the sole stud of the day. The Joker is the stud. All right, there's the lineups for you, and enjoy the rest of your day. It's a Soul Fantasy Show, Soul Fan Show.